This one still can't add mana. I'm going to go digging. We're just going to mill 4. Look for a dinosaur. Yes, we hit an Etali. I'm so grateful for that. And then, yeah, we can put Llanowar Elves. And then let's put these 2 onto the battlefield. Gonna gain a bunch of life. Oh, and we hit a Gishath. Yo, we're popping off. Boy, the dinosaurs are coming to town. Gain that life. Draw some cards. Gain that life. Draw some cards. Let's go. Full grip of cards. Unfortunately, we didn't try any more creatures. But yeah, we're attacking with Gishath. So we're gonna look for 7 cards deep. Oh my gosh, man. I'm speechless. Look at this board state. Look at this board state. Boy, gain some life, draw some cards. Yo, we absolutely flipped that game on its head. And we're going to be able to put all these dinos on the battlefield. No shot. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, look, they attack with just those 2. They're all tapped out. Buddy, you think your Ajani's are powerful? This little lion? Well, what do you think about these massive, thick 12-12 bodies that are standing in your way right now? Let me eat those little creatures for lunch. Tasty. Hey there, neighbor, and we're back with another MTG Arena standard video, and today it's all about the Dino time. It's the age of the dinosaurs. You can see our curve. We have nothing but top-end power. Bringing the heat today. We have Etali, everyone's favorite dinosaur. We have the Vaultborn Tyrant, also people's favorite dinosaur. Tyrranax Rex, might be some people's favorite dinosaur. We have Ghalta and Marvin, probably forgotten dinosaur. Galta, Stampede Tyrant, this one's amazing. It's probably someone's favorite dinosaur. We have Gishath, Sun's Avatar. This one might be my favorite dinosaur. And we have Ghalta, Primal Ghalta, Primal Hunger. Definitely someone's favorite dinosaur. And still kind of on the top end. Not as crazy expensive as these 7 and 8 drops. We have the Bonehoard Dracosaur. This one's probably also someone's favorite dinosaur. We have Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Most of the time, we're casting him for his impending cost, just for some early game mana ramp. And then finally, for 4 mana, our cheapest dinosaur that we have, it's the Hulking Raptor. Also, just to add 2 green mana. And yeah, you might be asking, let's just move all these dinosaurs. We can even move this creature over there. How do we cast all of these, top-end creatures without just getting absolutely deleted in the first few turns? Well, the way that we actually do that is, 1, by ramping a lot. We can really ramp really quickly, so we can cast some of these, like 5 and 7 drops, a lot earlier than turn 5 or turn 7. But ideally, what we're doing is some of our 8 drops, and even some of the 7 drops, like Etali, for instance, such a good dinosaur, or Vaultborn Tyrant. We're trying to, at the minimum, cast it on turn 6 with Smuggler Surprise for 1 mana, and then we're going with the second option right there for 5 additional mana, so 6 mana total. You may put 2 creatures from your hand onto the battlefield. So yeah, that's why we're hoping to just have some of these, real top-end threats that we can smuggle onto the battlefield. I know I played a Smuggler Surprise deck a while back where we tried to get Progenitus onto the battlefield. And yeah, it's just such a fun archetype. I also like that you can do it at instant speed. So even if you have 6 mana, you can pass it over to your opponent's turn if you think they might be holding up, like a board wipe, for instance, and then just cast this on their end step. So going back into your turn, you can hopefully close the game out that way, because yeah, these dinosaurs, they are just such bulky, powerful threats, and they look so clean. All these different art styles we have. Dinosaurs might be one of my absolute favorite creature types in Arena. And yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this deck. I guarantee if you guys do craft this deck, I know it is really expensive with all of these cards right here. I think all of them are rare or mythic. I don't think they're, yeah, for sure. Llanowar Elves, I know I have the special art style for it. It says Mythic right there. This one is either common or uncommon. Glimpse the Core for some early game ramp. This one is also common. And the Encroaching Dragonstorm, also common. As well as a few of these basic lands. We do have a few special lands as well. So this is a pretty expensive deck. But I will say the key card is Smuggler Surprise with this early game ramp. And then honestly, everything else in this slot right here, if you don't have all these dinosaurs, that's fine. Just look at whatever, look, honestly, you can do this. Just go into the search function. You can choose all the colors if you want. Just choose creature and just click 7+. And yeah, just look for any of these, maybe blue's not the best choice right there. So let's take blue away. But yeah, you can put a Valgavoth in there. You can put a Craterhoof Behemoth. That one would work actually really well in this deck. I think I actually considered putting Craterhoof Behemoth in. You can put a Traxa. You can put Coma. Sire of the Seven Deaths could also work really well in this deck. So just whatever, top end threat that you want to try and smuggle onto the battlefield early, this is the deck to do it with. And yeah, I went with the Dino package because, like I said, I love dinosaurs. I have a lot of the really cool art styles for a lot of them. So let's just jump into some of the games and just absolutely roll over our opponents. I'll see you in the games. All right. Opponent did take a mulligan. I wonder if that means they are an aggressive deck or maybe looking for a combo piece. I will keep this. I will say this is really, really slow, though. We only have some ramp on turn 4 with Encroaching Dragonstorm or our Hulking Raptor. But we do have Smuggler Surprise in our hand. So let's see if we can maybe pull off a victory. So we drew a mountain. Oh, Glimpse the Core is really nice because that is some early game ramp. So yeah, look, it's turn 2. Glimpse the Core. Going into turn 3, we can play this 4 mana Encroaching Dragonstorm, and then we will have 6 mana for Smuggler Surprise. So, opponent maybe looking to reanimate some dinosaurs, and we hit Gishath. Yo, I don't want to call it too early, but I think that is a GG. We do need 2 red. We only need 1 white, and that's honestly just to cast Gishath if you want to pay for the fair mana cost. But we also have Cavern of Souls. Honestly, you might be able to cut Cavern of Souls. This really is just for the counter matchup. But, I mean, in Standard nowadays, who's running counter spells? Really not many people. So you can honestly probably get away by switching out the Cavern of Souls for just another basic forest. So opponent ramping as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and name Dinosaur. Yeah. And we're going to do this now. So here, wait, let me go back 1 second. This is an instant. We could cast this on their end step, just in case we think they might have any, board wipes. To me, it looks like they're playing a Dino deck, so I don't think so. But I'm going to go ahead and do this now. So we do have 7 mana. We could play the Vaultborn Tyrant, but if we do it like this, we can put Gishath and Vaultborn Tyrant onto the battlefield. Gishath does have haste, so we're going to be able to smack through for 7, and then you can see his flavor text. When Gishath deals damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library and put them, if they're dinosaurs, you can put them on the battlefield. Honestly, a little bit unfortunate that we hit these 2 dinosaurs right now. It would have been so awesome if we could have revealed Etali and Bonehoard, but yeah, opponent just couldn't keep up with the might of the dinosaurs. Let's go. Clean victory. G to the G, boy. All right, we get to go first. We do have some really nice top ends with Smuggler Surprise. Just honestly really need to hope we draw some ramp because, yeah, we do want to ramp into Smuggler Surprise. Opponent might be a tokens deck, might be a life gain deck. So yeah, mono white life gain. It's probably what we're looking at. Overlord is an amazing draw. And like I said in the deck intro, he costs 5 mana, but I think 95% of the time we're just going to cast him for the impending cost. So get a land right there. Drop a land. All right, Ajani. I absolutely hate this creature, but I think, yeah, look, so that's 6 mana right there. Maybe we can even catch them off guard next turn. So no attacks from us. And let's honestly hope we draw another Dinosaur, because we'll be able to put it onto the battlefield with Ghalta. Alright, it's our turn. Okay, it is just a land drop, which sucks, but yeah, we're going to kind of act like we have nothing. And we're going to try and catch them off guard. Let's hope they go through to attacks. I hope they don't have us sheltered by ghosts. That would be so annoying. It looks like it. Yeah, see, they always have it. Let's see what they target. Yeah, they do go after our Overlord, which I'm fine with. I think we'll be able to catch them off guard right now. Yeah, see, look, they attack with just those two. They're all tapped out. Buddy, you think your Ajanis are powerful? This little lion? Well, what do you think about these massive, thick 12-12 bodies that are standing in your way right now? Let me eat those little creatures for lunch. Mmm, tasty. Thank you for my Overlord back. And we did that on your turn, so it's going into our turn. We got the land drop from the Overlord. So here comes another 3-headed Dino, and bam, keep your backhand strong. We have to do it to him, you know, it's the classic move. Bap, that's what you are, a little insect that my dinos just ate up. GG, boy. All right, guys, opponent gets to go first, and I do like this hand. We don't have crazy ramp with it, but we have a little bit of ramp. I see a colorless land on turn 1, so they might be playing Ugin. Of course, maybe they just, yeah, don't have a basic land, so maybe actually a tokens deck. We will get the Overlord down for the impending cost. So 3 with this elf is 4. This is going to be 5 mana. I really hope we can find a Smuggler surprise. So yeah, it's a tokens deck confirmed. This might be a little bit rough. They might be playing Sunfall or... yeah, honestly, just like split up. They might be playing some board wipes is what I'm trying to get at. But we hit Encroaching Dragonstorm, which is amazing. So that's some really nice ramp. Go ahead and search for 2 basics. Let's get those 2 out. And then we can drop another one of those. So 2, 4, 6. With this little elf is 7. This is going to be land number 8. So we will be able to play Gishath. I think we went first, potentially. So yeah, we're going to be able to play an 8 mana creature on turn 5 already. So... and do they attack with the rabbit, or do they keep it back? They do scry to the top. I just really hope they're not playing too many board wipes. So yeah, let's go ahead and name Dinosaur, and little Gishath gets to come down and punch through for at least 6 damage if they throw this bunny in the way. If not, 7 damage right to the dome. We get a look at 7 cards deep, and yo, we find, honestly, basically nothing. We're just gonna add that dino to the battlefield because Gishath is legendary. So yeah, 5 mana. Here comes the Sunfall. Wow, I'm surprised. I'm relieved, I'll be honest. So no Sunfall. They might be looking for some board wipes right now. Honestly, I think we're just going to keep Vaultborn Tyrant in our hand, just because I am worried about some board wipes. So I don't want to commit too much to the board. We also just have so much power on board. If we're able to attack with Gishath again, we'll be able to find some more dinos. So... opponent's really thinking about it. And yeah, just Gishath, Sun's Avatar. I love this dino so much. 8 mana is, of course, a lot. And that, honestly, that one extra white pip does make him harder to slot into, you know, more of the typical, like, Gruul aggro dinos, or even the traditional dino deck that you'll see of just, you know, green, red. There's just so many good green-red dinos. But yeah, that third color, that white, does make this one a little bit harder to play in Standard right now. But honestly, I think this deck that we built right now is just so much fun. And yeah, we honestly have no problem finding the one basic plane. So, alright, I'll cut it until our opponent is back. Or I guess that's technically the end of their timeout. So I think their turn's over. I think they may have given up. Which, yeah, is a little bit unfortunate. I never understand why people, rope you out. They probably just closed the app from whatever they're playing on. But I do really wish, that would be my biggest wish, is that they just reworked this timer system a little bit. Because, yeah, you know, this is just the regular play queue. It's not ranked. We're not in some tournament. I really don't think people need this many timeouts to think about their plays. So, but yeah, like I said, we will not overcommit to the board. Let's just go ahead and pull another basic out, and we will keep this guy back in case the opponent is here. Now, oh my gosh, again, we don't really find too many dinos. I mean, let's just put them on the board. Like I said, I don't think the opponent's here, so if they are, though, and if they do have a Sunfall, then yeah, that is a pretty big blowout. But again, they are just down to 3. Well, we don't really have too many hasty dinosaurs. Oh, that's not true. We have the Tyrranax Rex, and we have another Gishath, so, but yeah. I'll just cut it until the opponent's head explodes, and I'll call it right now. GG, boy. GG, boy. I think we have to mulligan just because we don't have any ramp. Oh, and this one's also bad. No way I'm taking a double mulligan, so I will get rid of Etali. Oh, we do find an elf, which is really nice. So if it does survive until turn 3, then we can get the raptor down. Are they playing a Manifest Dread type of deck? Oh, another... Well, okay, Smuggler Surprise isn't really what we need right now. But like I said, if our elf does survive next turn, we can get the raptor down. And I think they'll have a pretty hard time interacting with it, thanks to the ward too. But, I mean, they are also playing blue. Fear of missing out. We do hit a land drop. So yeah, let's go with the Hulking Raptor. Saw no stick there, so no counter spells. So we can go ahead. Oh, and they're all tapped out. Yeah, see, they are a Manifest Dread type of deck. With a little bit of ramp. Oh, yes, and we hit a dinosaur, which is amazing. So yeah, we're going to have 6 mana right now. Wait, let's see, 2, 4. They're all tapped out, so no reason to give our creatures indestructible, so we'll just pay the 6. And we will put these 2 beautiful dinos onto the battlefield, and yeah, we're just gonna smash face. They kind of have to block Gishath. I mean, they don't have to. They might be able to bounce this one and transform whatever is face down. Might be an Omniscience. But yeah, we get to reveal an Etali, which is amazing, and another Hulking Raptor. So Etali, welcome to the battlefield. We hit an Encroaching Dragonstorm, and from them, we get to Manifest Dread. I mean, let's just put this guy face down, and goodbye. Yo, this guy's name is Mike and Ike. Real quick story. When I lived in California, in the Bay Area, there's a sandwich shop called Mike and Ike's. I think it is with an S at the end. That is probably my favorite food of all time. It's like a sub, like they make subs there, like really epic sandwiches. So tasty. So shout out to Mike and Ike. All right, we could go first, and we do have a lot of ramp. We just kind of hope to find our Smuggler surprise or some powerful dinos is what I'm hoping for. All right, so let's crack this one before we forget, because I have done that before, and that's a feels bad moment. So yeah, let's go ahead and get a mountain. Opponent cracks their own fabled passage, and they get a swamp. Oh, we do hit a Smuggler surprise, which is amazing. So let's go ahead and glimpse the core, pull out a forest, and then let's hope we can hit a land drop. We don't, which sucks, but we will just go ahead and impend the Overlord. That one does add mana, or it adds a land token, so I'm fine with that. So we do see the opponent is playing some removal. They are an Unholy Annex deck. Aye. And we missed another land drop, which does really suck. I think I just want to go Encroaching Dragonstorm. And then let's get a white and a red source. So we do have 6 mana, so we could go with the Smuggler surprise. But yeah, we honestly don't have the best hits right now. Okay, Jace, that is really rough. Oh, we mill a Gishath. That sucks. Oh, especially because we were going to draw him. All right. Honestly, I think we just put two of these guys onto the battlefield. Put 2 of these guys onto the battlefield. And let's hope they don't have too much removal. If they just unlock, they do. They just unlock the Unholy Annex. I'm fine with that. Even though, yeah, that does give us -3.
Our plans are beyond your comprehension.
And another Smuggler surprise. You know what? I'm just going to do it like this. Let's go ahead and mill a few cards and hope we can find a great dino. And we do. We hit 2 amazing dinos. Let's go. And then we will put these ones on the battlefield. I guess let's make our Hulking Raptor a little bit bigger, just in case they have something that can do 3 damage and we don't need a little elf. And honestly, I'm fine losing the Raptor right now. And yeah, if they want to save Jace, then at least they lose their demon. So they do lose Jace. They lose their demon in the process as well. And they're down to 10 or 11 HP. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a Sunfall, though. That would be tragic. This one does have Ward 4. It is a deadly cover-up, man. And then, what do they remove? It is Smuggler Surprise. That is smart, because that one can give us Indestructible as well, man. So lame. Alright, they do lose 2 life for that. Ooh, Bonehoard is a really nice draw. I think we will go ahead and drop this one. And then we can actually crack this land. And then we can actually play the Encroaching Dragonstorm. And then get these 2 lands out of the deck. So, yeah, we can absolutely play anything that we find. It's just, I don't think we only have 1 more hasty creature. And I mean, they have a full grip of cards in their hand, so I guarantee you it's just nothing but removal, so. Well, they do choose to create another. Oh, they get to copy that? Yo, that's actually pretty smart. Aw. Okay, but a Ghalta and Marvin is really nice. And yeah, we hit this Dino. I should have maybe played this one. That's maybe my bad. And then let's just crack this one. It is just a land, which sucks. So let's drop this one down. And then let's just play the Encroaching Dragon Storm. Get those 2 lands out. And then, yeah, let's just pray that they don't have another board wipe. If they do, I think it's over. I guess, yeah, they can also just unlock that side. And then just attack with the demons. They don't. That is kind of wild. They do gain a ton of life, though. So they're back up to 15. Yes. Honestly, yeah, I want to say yes, but we're not finding the best dinos right now. Okay, Vaultborn is an amazing one. We can play this guy. I'm going to do that for the card draw. We'll keep this one. Hit an Overlord. Get to put him on the battlefield. Draw another Dino. Doesn't even make sense to attack all, so let's just attack with Ghalta. So they will lose the Ghostly Dancers. And that's it. But, I mean, yeah, they've drawn so many cards at this point that for sure they just have another deadly cover-up. Well, that is just a nowhere to run. And we are up to 21 life, so we're not dead, even if they attack with both of them. That is double removal right there, though. It's kind of crazy. And they get lost. Oh, they do gain a ton of life for that. But they are all tapped out. Yes! We find Gishath. I think that's it. And we have a Cavern of Souls, so let's just name Dino. Go ahead and play our Gishath. We get to draw another card from that. We are only down to 14, so let's honestly just pump up Gishath. Okay, yeah, so now they have to double block that guy. And yeah, we just attack with everyone. And I think that's it, because they can only block 2. So that's at least 10 damage getting through, plus the third guy. So I am so surprised that they did not have another deadly cover-up. I'm so glad about that. Yes! I'm so happy we beat an Unholy Annex deck. Even though they weren't the traditional demon package, they were playing some pretty unique cards. Virtue of Knowledge. And Ghostly Dancers to unlock a room. I do like that card a lot. So, yeah, GG. We got there in the end thanks to Gishath and just our big fat dinos. All right, guys, we get to go first. If we hit a third land drop, we can ramp. Won't be super quickly, and we do kind of have to hope that our Hulking Raptor survives. But if we do, we can drop a Ghalta and a Gishath on the opponent, which is probably the 2 best dinos to drop on the opponent. Of course, Ghalta is better if we have more dinos to put onto the battlefield. Because if we actually don't, then he is just I want to say vanilla 12-12, but I mean, yeah, 12 power, 12 toughness, that is no joke. But again, with just how much removal is in standard right now, yeah, vanilla 12-12 isn't maybe the best, so... And yeah, we did hit another dinosaur, but I had to specify game. Can it please be a other non-legendary dinosaur that I control? So yeah, like I said, we're going Hulking Raptor. And hopefully they just leave our guy alone. Just play your Caretaker's Talent. We know that that is what you want to do. you can just ignore our guy. He also has Ward 2. Ooh, I hit my microphone, which scared me, but I wanted to say, I told you guys. So, and look, even if we didn't hit our land drop, we could still do this. And it's turn 4. Turn 4. And yeah, we are dropping 2 mighty powerful 8/8s onto the battlefield. If we had another creature that was non-legendary, we could do that one, but we're going to submit 0 right now. And we're just going to smack the opponent. Gishath deals 7 damage to them, so we get to look 7 deep, and I will take these 2 dinosaurs. So get to gain a bunch of life and draw a ton of cards, even though it was just 3 lands. That is kind of a big yikes moment right there, but look, even if the opponent, like I said, it's turn 4 for us, it's still turn 3 for the opponent. Even if next turn they played a board wipe, which I think is only Day of Judgment, we would still be getting 2 Vaultborn Tyrants back. So we could attack for 12 damage, so not quite there, but let's see, 2, 4, 5, we would have 6 mana. And then in 2 more turns, we would get 7 and then 8 mana again. So, yeah, just absolutely annihilated the opponent right there. GG, boy. All right, we get to go first, and we do have some pretty good ramp. Of course, we need to hope Hulking Raptor survives, but I am going to risk it. Because, yeah, we have Glimpse the Core on turn 2 into a Hulking Raptor on turn 3. So opponent honestly might be the Hydra deck. I played a Hydra deck the other day. It was a lot of fun. Before I forget, just crack your Fabled Passage. And I think we can find a red source. Just because we do need double red for a few of the creatures. With Glimpse the Core, we can find green. So yeah, going into turn 3, we can play the Hulking Raptor. And then even if we miss a land drop on turn 5, because yeah, it would be turn 5, we can play Smuggler Surprise, so a turn early, and we can get 2 7-drops down on turn 5 already. And one of them has haste, and one of them's Etali, and you guys already know. Alright, so definitely not a Hydra deck from the opponent, but they are trying to do some graveyard stuff, because we did see them put a Breach in there. So yeah, they're just trying to bring back as many lands as possible, just to go kind of crazy with their ramp, but hey, I think we do it a little bit better than they can. So opponent, what are you doing? I see you're in the think tank, so there is a land and a Nissa. So yeah, they're trying to just bring back as many lands as possible. That will give them a ton of mana. And like I said, even if we did not hit the land drop, we can still go Smuggler Surprise. So it's turn 5, and we are getting 2 awesome dinos onto the battlefield. One of them's in Etali, so we hit an Overlord and a Molten Collapse. Yeah, nice. Destroy target creature. Get rid of Nissa, and Overlord, welcome to the battlefield. And then you already know, we just swing through with everyone. It is only these 2 guys. So, yeah, they're taking a bunch of damage. 2, 4. We are up to 6 mana. And if they didn't remove this guy next turn, he would add 2 mana, so we could get another big fat dino onto the battlefield. Man, this deck is so much fun, and when it pops off so hard. Let's go. All right, opponent goes first. This is a little bit of a slow hand. I will keep it, and I will say it is a little bit slow just because we don't have any green on turn 1. I so wish this Thornspire Verge was the other way around. I wish it added green, and only if you have a mountain or forest does it add red, and it looks like we might be up against a Unholy Annex deck, which I'm so tired of seeing that. And I know I played one myself the other day, but... Alright, it's not... It's just Golgari value. Ooh, that is a really nice draw. We just need to find a Smuggler Surprise. Let's get 1 red and 1 green. Just because, yeah, we need triple green for Ghalta, and we did have 1 red with this one, but some of our dinosaurs, like Etali, for instance, they do need double red, so... 2, 4, 6. It's going to be 7 mana with a double Glimpse the Glimpse the Core. Severance Priest. Aw. That really sucks, because there goes our Ghalta or our Gishath. I think we do get an 8/8 creature then, so not the worst. But yeah, I would much rather have one of my dinos than just a vanilla 8/8. Let's see what he says exactly. Yeah, X is the mana value. Oh, and that's only when we remove this creature as well. Yikes. So yeah, opponent knows that they have to start putting on some pressure. Oh, we hit a Vaultborn Tyrant. That is amazing. So we will for sure just play that one. Even though I guess they can just give it Decayed with Rakshasha. And then, yeah, we will be taking 8 damage. But yeah, I'm really hoping, since we did hit a land drop, I hope we can find another really good dinosaur. Maybe another, or maybe, yeah, maybe an Etali. Tyrranax Rex would be nice. Vaultborn Tyrant, I love this guy so much, because if they do have removal, he does come back as a 6/6 token. We would gain 3 life, and we would get a card draw off that, so... Alright, yeah, opponent really thinking what they want to do. Yeah, they do just give them Decayed, which, yeah, it does suck, but... We hit a Smuggler Surprise. 7/8. This one still can't add mana. I'm going to go digging. We're just going to mill 4. Look for a dinosaur. Yes, we hit an Etali. I'm so grateful for that. And then, yeah, we can put Llanowar Elves. And then let's put these 2 onto the battlefield. Gonna gain a bunch of life. Oh, and we hit a Gishath. Yo, we're popping off. Boy, the dinosaurs are coming to town. Gain that life, draw some cards. Gain that life, draw some cards. Let's go. Full grip of cards. Unfortunately, we didn't try any more creatures. But yeah, we're attacking with Gishath. So we're going to look for 7 cards deep. Oh my gosh, man. We just... I'm speechless. Look at this board state. Look at this board state. Boy, gain some life, draw some cards. Yo, we absolutely flipped that game on its head. And we're going to be able to put all these dinos on the battlefield. No shot. Oh my gosh. Yo, this is honestly one of the craziest games I've played lately. Xanthi, thanks for staying for that. Thanks for giving me all that value. And yeah, you just got absolutely ran over by these dinosaurs. Let's go. And I think that was all thanks to Smuggler Surprise, thanks to our early game ramp. And yeah, there you can see the power of milling 4 cards and looking for some creatures. Yeah, we were so lucky that we hit an Etali off that. So we put, let's see what we did. Let's see if I can even remember it. We put Ghalta onto the battlefield. Let's take a step back. Smuggler Surprise, we milled 4. We found an Etali and a Llanowar Elf. We put them in our hand. Then we could put 2 creatures onto the battlefield. We chose Ghalta and Etali. Etali entered. It found a Gishath and a Host of the Hereafter. Not that creature does nothing for us. Gishath entered with haste. I think our Vaultborn Tyrant that had Decayed, yeah, we attacked with him and we attacked with Gishath. Our Vaultborn Tyrant died because it had Decayed, but it was a non-token, so it came back as a token. We got a bunch of card draw. Oh, this is the one with Decayed. I don't know where this other Vaultborn came in. But anyways, we attacked with this Vaultborn Tyrant and this Gishath. I think Etali and Ghalta entering. We drew a bunch of cards. I think they were just a bunch of lands. We hit Gishath, attacked with Gishath and this creature, which was going to die because it does have Decayed. Gishath found us these 4 dinosaurs from the top 7, which is amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And from those 4 dinosaurs, Vaultborn Tyrant number 1, which again, I don't remember when we got this one, and the one with Decayed, Vaultborn Tyrant number 2, triggered 4 times each. So we got, yeah, I think we gained 12 life off that, plus all the other life gain we gained from these vampires, and we drew 8 cards, I think. So, oh, man, I'm speechless. GG, boy. Hey there, neighbor. We're back with the post-game wrap, and maybe it's a cliche, but man, those were some really, really fun games that we played. I know I say that about a lot of the decks that I play, but I think I've said this before. Obviously, I like playing decks that I just like playing. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of, you know, hardcore like Azorius control counter spells, you know, dragging the game out, suffering the opponent, you know, slowly grinding out value. I will play those decks every once in a while, of course. Same with like the mill strategy. I have that like one shot like mill with the Mind Skinner. I'm not the biggest fan of mill, but that deck was a lot of fun to play. So I like putting my own twists on some of the games that I play, and I hope that that's also reflected in the videos that I put out for you guys. So if you are enjoying them, please leave a comment down below and a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and I do reply to all the comments down there. But like I said, maybe it's a little bit of a cliche, but those were such fun games, and those, honestly, the games that we played today were some of the most fun that I've had lately in this, yeah, I want to say meta, but just in this standard that we're playing. I personally do find that the card pool in standard right now is way too big. I cannot wait for rotation to come just so that the card pool gets, you know, narrowed down a little bit. There are quite a few decks out there that I personally, I just don't like playing against them. And I will say, before I go forward, this deck does really, really struggle against not just mono black, but kind of anything with black, whether it be like Golgari or, yeah, Rakdos. If they just have a lot of removal, if they're kind of like an oops all removal package, some of our early game plays like Overlord, Hulking Raptor, and Llanowar Elves, if they can remove those and you don't have too much ramp other than, you know, Hulking Raptor and Llanowar Elves, that does feel really, really bad. Especially Hulking Raptor. You guys might think like 4 mana for a 5/3 where he adds 2 mana each turn and he has Ward 2. That sounds so, so nice, but nowhere to run. Let's look for black. Yikes, yeah, this card here. Nowhere to run. This is such a popular card right now, and creature gets -3/-3, and it ignores hexproof and ward, which is honestly kind of crazy. So yeah, against mono black, oops all removal, or even if they're kind of mono black with some removal sprinkled in and oops all discard, that also feels really, really bad. So against, yeah, like I said, not just mono black, but if you're up against black, you will maybe struggle a little bit. Also the oops all discard, like I said, because if you are holding on to a Smuggler Surprise and you want to get some of these bigger dinos down, and they, yeah, just keep making you discard turn after turn after turn, you will lose some of these dinosaurs that, you know, you hope to play on turn 6. So, but with that out of the way, I think we played against a few Boros tokens. Did we play against a Pixie Bounce? I can't remember. But yeah, honestly, against a lot of creature matchups, I actually feel like you're kind of in the favor. You know, if they're kind of doing their own thing and you're doing your own thing. And our thing, like I said, here we can put Bonehoard over there. I will leave these ones over there. But yeah, you guys just see these. Bonehoard is 5 mana, but everything else is 7 or 8 mana. I know this one's 12 mana, but yeah, you're never casting him for 12 mana. Everything else is 7 or 8 mana, and all of them just such good value. Etali, the Primal Conqueror, you guys know when he hits the battlefield, you get, hopefully, I mean, it is a roulette wheel, but you get something from the opponent's library and something from your own library, and I mean, the chance that you hit just one of these powerhouses, pretty high. Vaultborn Tyrant, when he enters, you gain life, you draw a card. If the opponents do remove Vaultborn Tyrant, he comes back as a token, and again, you draw a card and gain some life, and then whenever you play a creature with power 4 or greater, which is literally every single creature in our deck, except for Llanowar Elf, again, you get to draw a card and gain some life. Tyrranax Rex, he's only one of in our deck. But yeah, just a hasty, 8/8 creature with Ward 4, and he does have Toxic 4, so it's also a nice way. Galta and Marvin, I'm not sure if he actually, I think he's also just a one of in our deck. But yeah, this is also just another, 12/12 Dino, and he creates a tapped and attacking Dinosaur token that's equal to the power of another attacking creature. And I mean, yeah, we just have so much power. Galta, Stampede Tyrant, we saw in so many games today, and I think the last one that we just played, we saw how hard we were able to pop off thanks to Galta. Yeah, Gishath, Sun's Avatar, might be one of my favorite dinosaurs. I think the card art looks really cool. I think he's just a really cool dinosaur in and of himself, and his ability is so good. If you do, he comes in with haste, he has trample, so even, Boros tokens that are just pumping out a bunch of those like tiny rabbit tokens, or mono white life gain, maybe with like a, 5/5 Ajani or something, or 7/7 Ajani. Well, 7/7 would suck because he would trade, but yeah, just the trample and haste is so nice because when you swing through, do a chunk of damage to the opponent, and whether you do 4 damage or 7 damage, you get to look at that many cards deep and hope you find a dinosaur. I know in a few times when we were able to hit the opponent with Gishath, we maybe didn't find the best things, but other times, yeah, you are able to find really good things. And then, yeah, Galta, Primal Hunger, also just a one of, and this one is just a vanilla 12/12. But again, if he hits the battlefield, all of these things are just such big threats that your opponents have to answer. And like I said, if you're up against kind of a creature matchup where they're doing their own thing and you're doing your own thing, our own thing just goes so over the top of whatever they're doing. Also for how fast it does that as well. Thanks to Smuggler Surprise, I think in basically every single game, I can't remember because I've played a lot of games by now. I've played this deck over a few days now because I have been just loving this deck. It's so much fun. But in so many of the games, we saw that on turn 6, I think even a few games, it's turn 5, we had like 2 8/8 dinosaurs coming down, or maybe like a Etali, which is 7 mana, but still, if on turn 5, you can play a 7 mana Etali, that is just such good value. And Smuggler Surprise doesn't let you put one dino on the battlefield or one creature, it lets you put 2 of them on the battlefield. So even if it is turn 6, if you still get to put just 2 7/7s on the battlefield, that is just such a good tempo swing. And I mean, who doesn't love playing with some of the biggest, fattest dinosaurs that we have right now in Standard? So yeah, MVP of the deck, 100% is Smuggler Surprise. And I think in a few of the games, we also saw that if we have 8 mana, which isn't crazy to get up to 8 mana with this deck just because we have so much ramp. But yeah, if you can go with the first ability of mill 4 cards, and then you can put 2 creatures or, and or lands milled that way into your hand, and you are able to pay for the second ability with 5 extra mana. So you need 8 mana total, but then you can put 2 creatures from your hand onto the battlefield. The first ability triggers first, so you first mill 4 cards, and I mean, hopefully you're putting 2 really powerful dinos into your hand, and then you can choose which creatures you want to put onto the battlefield. So Smuggler Surprise, so good. And I'm not sure if we saw its +1 ability where creatures you control with power 4 or greater, which again, every single creature in our deck except for Llanowar Elf, they get hexproof and indestructible until the end of the turn. That is a way that you can maybe save some of your creatures if they have either targeted removal with like a Get Lost or Go for the Throat or something like that, or even if there is a board wipe like Split Up or Day of Judgment, if you do keep, and again, it does cost 2 mana because you need the 1 green mana to cast Smuggler Surprise, and then you need the 1 generic mana to give your creatures hexproof and indestructible. Again, I can't remember if we saw that in any of the games we played today or yesterday, because these games are from 2 days. But I know for sure I have used that ability before to save some of my creatures. And so yeah, Smuggler Surprise, hands down MVP of the deck. And yeah, we've been over the Dino package, and then yeah, the rest of the deck honestly is just kind of ramp with Llanowar Elf. Honestly, maybe this might be the best 1-drop that we have in standard right now for 1 green mana, and it adds green mana. It's just so good. And then yeah, Glimpse the Core helps you find a basic forest, Encroaching Dragonstorm, Hulking Raptor. Let's go ahead and move Overlord. So for 3 mana, you can impend the Overlord, and you get the Everywhere Land token. And then in the 4 mana slot, you do have Encroaching Dragonstorm and the Hulking Raptor. And yeah, like I said, Hulking Raptor does honestly eat quite a bit of removal if you are playing against mono black, just because they have just such good ways of answering this creature, which does feel bad. But if they don't answer him, then that is 2 mana every turn right there. Encroaching Dragonstorm, you just get to look for 2 basics, which is really nice. So that's also some pretty hard mana ramp right there. So yeah, we have the, let's just go ahead and put it all together. We have the ramp package right here. We have our big fat creatures to take over the game right here. And the way that we cast those big fat creatures is with Smuggler Surprise. So yeah, it's a simple deck. It's to just go over the top with some fat dinosaurs. I absolutely love it. I did make a few tiny tweaks to the game, to the deck. I think we started with 3 Cavern of Souls, and there was one game where I had 2 Cavern of Souls in my hand and a Thornspire Verge. And I think we had a Glimpse the Core and a Encroaching Dragonstorm, and yeah, I just wasn't able to cast them because Thornspire Verge, it does not add green mana until you have a mountain or a forest, so that did feel really, really bad. So I took out 2 Cavern of Souls. I maybe also took out 2 Fabled Passages as well, just because, like I said, I originally included those. I included Cavern of Souls for counter spells, but I mean, it's so rare, at least nowadays, in Standard to run up against counter spells, especially in the play queue. I know in Ranked people do play, Control a bit more frequently than in the play queue, but yeah, I'm just not running into it that much, so I cut Cavern of Souls. And then Fabled Passage was also to look for, honestly, kind of the planes, because, yeah, most of the deck really is just green-red. I guess Galta and Marvin is green-white, but the more important dinosaur that you want the white for is Gishath, Sun's Avatar, but I'm not sure we ever cast him for the 8 mana cost fairly. I can't remember if I did or not. But usually by the time that you get up to 8 mana, you will have found a plains, whether that be with Overlord of the Hauntwoods creating the Everywhere Land token, so this one can add the 1 white mana that you need, or by finding your Encroaching Dragonstorm. So that's why I cut the Fabled Passages. Also just because in some of the games as well, yeah, maybe you have 2 Fabled Passages in your hand, and they both come in tapped, so you're not able to play Glimpse the Core. So that's why I trimmed those specialty lands down, and I just included more forests and maybe 1 extra mountain as well, which is nice for you guys because that is 2 less mythics and 2 less rare wild cards that you would need to craft this deck. And like I said, this Smuggler Surprise, and I went over this in the deck intro, I'm pretty sure. This Smuggler Surprise, I'm playing it with a Dino deck because I love dinosaurs. I think, they synergize pretty well together right now. But, yeah, honestly, you can just choose whatever big fat creatures that you guys love and that you would love to smuggle onto the battlefield. It works so well, and it is a lot of fun to do it. And I know I have been rambling way too much right now, so I'm just going to end it like I always end it. I love you guys. Peace out.
Bonus game.